Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master.
I've got a bowl of chocolate cereal in my pants.
What? And CJ's with me. I don't know. Was
Amigo.
what was that?
That was
You're
something.
just preparing for the show?
That was something I gave you a while ago, not for air.
Oh.
But I like that you played anyway.
Okay. Well,
That was just for fun.
That's how we roll sometimes here on Scuba Radio. Look, we got a lot of stuff to cover today. Believe it or not, first time for everything, and then just a lot of diving conversation type of stuff that we're going to share today. Are you ready?
I think so.
We have the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad connected via the web. That is Barry Zebugger, even though it's not lobster season anymore.
If it was French, it'd be Barry the Baguette.
He should be French. He is wearing his watch cap like Jacques Cousteau. Yeah.
My name is Jacques Cousteau.
But he, instead of looking like Jacques Cousteau, he looks like more like a
Mr. Smee.
No, like a giant condom with a red reservoir on top. Yeah.
Mr. Smee from Peter Pan.
Bubble Boy's holding his birthday cigar in his hand from Casey the Tobacco Nut.
Yes. Kind of perverted looking.
Yeah.
His cigar.
Casey, so.
Why is his cigar
Wait a
what is that all about, Barry? Why do you have a problem with his birthday
I showed
cigar?
him the case earlier, and he got all excited.
He's not Bill Clinton.
Come on,
He's just jealous that he doesn't have one of these nice little silver cases.
Oh, Jerry the Diver
You
guy
know
has
where you
one
could
too.
put those silver cases too.
Yeah.
Where?
They're cigar humidors, or is what Barry likes to consider them, suppositories. Also, we got Vinny Two Tanks kicking back from the left coast. Vinny, how are you, buddy? What's going on?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Jimmy's going to burn his face off.
Wait, who's going to burn what?
Jimmy's going to burn his face off. You see the torch he uses to light this thing?
Okay, you can see this on Facebook Live.
He is a
YouTube.
trained professional under professional supervision. Do not try this at home.
Right.
Oh, God, I'm at home.
We're trying to create a viral video, see if Bubble Boy can burn his face off live on Facebook and
Would anybody
YouTube,
notice?
Twitch, and everywhere else. Hey, we got Camal DiMartini live at the Gomez Hilton today. Nice view behind him of the waterway there off the banks of the Gomez Hilton. It looks beautiful. The weather looks good there today, Camal. What do you think?
Really nice today.
Really nice. All right. And then to round out the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad, we have Brittany, the Aqua Gypsy, with us. She is connected with us down there in Fort Myers. She's just kicking back, just chilling. Is that what you're doing today, Brittany, or what? What are you doing? Yeah?
I am, Greg. For the millionth time, it's Marco Island.
Which is real close to Fort Myers.
Like an hour away.
About an hour away. See?
He has a
I rest my
short-term memory
case.
issue.
It's almost like saying that you're from Polk County.
What?
There's only like 3 people in Polk County.
Is it Polk or Poke?
Polk.
That's entirely up to you, my friend.
Polk.
It was named after President James K. Polk.
Okay. Thank you, Bubble Boy, for that history lesson or geographic.
Bubble Boy, when the smoke detectors go off, just go ahead and mute your mic.
Oh,
Yeah.
I disabled those years ago. In this place.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Safety
virtual fire
first.
cop.
Yeah, just make sure we get the video because we'll make our YouTube live YouTube and Facebook
It could
live
go
video.
viral.
Yeah, it could. I mean, because look, half the folks probably have a virus. The squad. I mean, you got your vaccine. I got my vaccine. I think our entire crew is almost vaccinated now. Within the next 2-3 weeks, the entire Scuba Radio Scuba Squad is going to
for
be.
me, Greg.
22nd time you're going to get vaccinated.
They're trying to get it right.
I've done got 22 shots already.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 22 shots of.
I'm super immune to
He
it.
got
now.
his
spring
distemper
water.
shot. He
Yeah.
got his rabies shot.
And they all fit in that little small glass. He did them.
I got my berry shot.
Camel DiMartini, you look like you had something you wanted. Or were you just waving again, or did you have a comment?
No, I thought that I was going to ask Brittany if we could consider that Marco Island, Fort Myers thing a navigational error.
No.
I think that was a shot at you.
I don't know what that was.
Greg, all right.
I think it was inappropriate, and we're going to fix that in post.
Wrong way, Feldman.
All right. So Brittany the Aqua Gypsy has been doing a lot. I mean, she hadn't been on the show a lot, just like checking in from the boat. You know, she's been out doing a lot of stone crabbing with her friend, right? Brittany, you've been Florida stone crabbing and just gallivanting all around Marco Island, maybe even down to Fort Myers at times.
Well, you can tell who has a life by who sometimes isn't on the show.
Right. That explains it.
Somebody who's busy on a Saturday.
Have I described your latest activities appropriately, Brittany, or no? What do you think?
That's correct, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the fact that you just said down to Fort Myers when Fort Myers is north, but that's okay.
It's going to be one of those shows. I'm guessing.
Navigational errors again, but it's okay.
Yeah, but you've been
one of these days.
Greg.
Yeah, but you've been keeping busy. You've been
One of
keeping.
these days.
Oh, just be quiet. Let her talk. There is not one of these days. We have no time for this. Brittany, tell me what you've been up to though, because you have been doing some some constructive stuff, right?
Yes,
like what?
That's correct. I've been working, and it started picking up again since COVID of last year.
Yeah.
In regards to the independent instruction.
But you've become a citizen scientist. Is that right?
That's correct.
What does that mean? What are you doing exactly?
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it involves those suppositories that Bubble Boy was showing on Facebook.
That's
live.
amateur gynecology, Greg.
Oh, golly.
How many times do I have to tell you?
That's not appropriate and has nothing to do with what the Aqua Gypsy has been doing as a citizen scientist. So please, Brittany, explain and educate this crew.
Inappropriate.
Yeah. I apologize for that.
The Florida Sea Grant Stony Coral Tissue Loss Disease Coalition.
Huh. That's a mouthful.
Has been putting on events through Zoom.
Yeah.
And they're actually having another one tomorrow. I did one in October, and it's about a 2-hour seminar in which they just go over all of the different stony corals that you're going to encounter.
Okay.
And then they send you a template.
Right.
Like this.
Okay, she's showing it to us on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah. All right. So you got like a little slate type of thing or card or whatever, right? And
yeah, that's correct. And mainly, I mean, a lot of what their research is doing currently is in the Broward County or Miami-Dade. But, you know, you can pretty much do it wherever that you'd like to do it in regards to South Florida.
But you're monitoring the growth of this stony coral. Is that what it is? Or what?
Yeah, well, you're monitoring the growth and the bleaching and just kind of the outbreak of the coral loss.
Got it. And what kind of coral is it specifically? Are we talking like staghorn or is it just stony coral or what? Or all types?
Yeah, it's all different types of coral actually, but it's just so basically you identify what species it is, you kind of categorize the condition of it, and then
so they teach you what the different types of coral are that they want you to kind of go look at, and then you go do your dive, and when you see them, you kind of make a little note like, hey, this coral looks healthy, or I noticed some bleaching on this particular coral, and you write it down in your slate and then report back to them. Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool. That's citizen science at its best.
Yeah. So tomorrow at 10 a.m., if any of the listeners would like to join, you can always do that. You can just go to everbright.com and then type in SCTLD, Stony Coral Tissue Loss Disease Observation Training.
Yeah. Okay.
And then from there, you can just log on. It's just a Zoom call. It's 2-hour Zoom call. And then after, at the end, if you want to send your information, and then they'll send you this wonderful template. And you can go ahead. So basically, on the back, you know, it talks about like brain coral bleaching, flowering cups, leafy mounds, boulders, like what exactly the coral actually looks like.
Yeah. But you know what's interesting is you could take that exact same slate and like do an evaluation of like Barry the bugger. And there would be a lot of loss. I don't know if it'd be coral, but when it, like the brain coral, a lot of loss, and that might be something we need to track too. More coming up. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Need an escape from reality for a while? Your favorite scuba action star, Mike Scott, is back in an all-new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys: Reefs Under Pressure. From the brilliant mind of author Eric Douglas comes the thriller that started it all. Listen as Mike unravels the death of a girl, the protest of new development, and the systemic destruction of coral reefs, all against the stunning backdrop of Grand Cayman Island. This one's got it all: submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface. When he was ready and completely relaxed, he wrapped his arms through the straps of the seat cushion and gently slid into the water.
Dive back into adventure with Cayman Cowboys. Also available, Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish. Download all 5 audiobooks now at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, or audible.com.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, no, Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
So I'm going to eliminate Scuba Diver. When I was watching her there on the Secret Studio, her mouth expressions didn't say singer to me. I think Scuba Diver is a bad singer.
So Scuba Diver, let's see your voice! You were wonderful because you were awful. Scuba Diver, you just won Loretta $10,000. Please give it up for the Scuba Diver.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We sing just a little bit, much better than those folks, actually.
You know what I love, Greg? I love this studio, as great as it is, as high-tech of a marvel as you've created here.
Yeah.
A Shangri-La, really.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't like is there's no individual headphone volume control.
Well, oh, yeah, there is.
Where I am.
No, I have total control over it.
Right.
When we play the music like that, I usually turn it up.
That's
so
when
you
I
can
need
hear
to.
it.
Just that's why I
want to make sure you have the full experience, just like everybody listening at home right now or wherever they may be.
See, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
No, you can't avoid it.
I can just, I just don't put the headphones on.
No, the only thing you can do is block it out.
No.
Yeah. That's.
Are you saying that the liquor cabinet's open?
Well, it's never closed here at Scuba Radio Studios.
I'm trying to be good. I'm trying
to water down.
Yeah, it's not watered down, Barry. Don't you start.
No, I mix my own, my friend.
I learned from Captain Walt DiMartini at the Gomez Hilton. You never do any of that. You never water down. That's blasphemy.
It's kind of like a bottle club. I bring my own stash,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
Okay. Well, just for the record, during the commercial break, we did do an evaluation of Barry Zaboter and Bugger. And he enjoyed it, evidently. And we used the same slate that the Aqua Gypsy uses to evaluate coral, and we realized that, well, Barry has no brain.
It did show signs of cognitive decline.
Yes. Or maybe it was that, yeah.
Y'all were looking in the wrong place.
Hey, when does the show start?
See?
Wait, hold on.
Exhibit
The Aqua
A.
Gypsy has the slate, and she's the one who did the evaluation.
She's going to bury me now, isn't she?
And what did you find, Brittany? What did you find?
It was fully bleached white, 51 to 75%.
Wow.
Bleached white?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's kind of, it's what the kids are into these
okay.
days.
And then there was some dead coral with algae.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
My hair's
that had
still
to hurt.
dark. Not as white as Greg's hair.
Golly. I guess everybody has this mental picture in their brains right now. And we can't do anything.
I will say, though, there was zero stress.
Okay, so it's easy to
catalog.
I better just stop.
I better go inject myself with another
yeah. Okay. All right.
another
well,
Pfizer shot.
Yeah, use those questions to evaluate coral and not your dive buddies. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's quite amusing in some sense, but in this sense, we found more out about Barry than we really wanted to, didn't we?
We sure did.
CJ, I'm looking over at him, as you can plainly see on YouTube and Facebook. He definitely looks traumatized.
I'm not traumatized, just kind of more disgusted.
Okay. It's kind of one and the same. All right, fair enough. All right, so Brittany, are you doing this? You're doing the presentation thing tomorrow and diving tomorrow too? Is that what your plan is, or no?
No, I'm not doing the presentation, but the actual Stony Coral Institute is doing a Zoom call in which anyone can jump on for 2 hours, and then after the 2 hours, they can email their information and they can receive a Stony Coral slate as well.
Got it. Okay, so you've already done it. Yes, CJ?
I think it's fascinating. I think it's great how everybody's jumping in on getting educated and helping preserve the planet and our underwater critters. And also, super huge coincidence that two people on the squad would be members of similar organizations. Brittany's the Stony Coral.
Right.
Vinny is chilling out with the Stoner Coral. Group.
Oh, golly. Yes, Captain Walt DiMartini has observation.
I'd like to know if Vinny has any a word of wisdom for today.
Oh, that is very ironic that you bring that up, because it just so happens that, you never know what Vinny might blurt out, but it's usually a word of wisdom. And
look alive, kid. Here it comes.
And now, a word from Vinny Two Tanks.
Lauderdale.
This has been a word from Vinny Two Tanks on Scuba Radio.
Okay, it's a word. It was more of a location this time. But
he's quick on his feet now, man. He's ready.
He's
but
moving.
I was thinking about Bugfest. I think you said end of July?
End of July for Bugfest. It just shut down. Lobster season just shut down at the end of March here. So now the lobsters get a reprieve. But the last Tuesday and Wednesday of July, we get to go after them once again. And yes, Bugfest is on.
They don't get much of a break. It's 2 months?
Well, that's enough for the lobster to get their freak on.
Wow, that's hardly anything.
What? You can do a lot of foreplay and do a lot. I mean, 2 months, that's a lot of, what?
I think the word is fornication.
A lot of fornicating.
Fornicator!
Okay. So, yeah, they get a reprieve. They get to, get their freak on, make more lobster. And then end of July, we open it up. And, sometimes at the beginning of the season, you'll see lobsters with eggs on them because they didn't, the ugly lobster, obviously it takes them a little bit longer to hook up.
Actually, 3 months. I forgot about the whole month. Most of the month of July also.
Right.
So May, June, July.
Yeah. So, but that's what happens. And at the beginning of the season, those lobster that have eggs, they would technically be the less attractive lobster. Wouldn't that make sense?
I'm lost.
No. It's like, so what happens now is the lobster season in Florida is shut down. And so the lobsters have a reprieve to come out of their holes, get their freak on with their, fellow lobsters, or find a mate,
or
make more lobsters,
reproduce.
Yeah, you could say it like that. Yeah, fornication is.
That should be your word.
It should be a word, yes. But we just made it up on the fly.
Fornication.
So anyway, they get their freak on after they find a mate, but some of them have trouble finding a mate initially. Or, they might have been, hit with the ugly stick, and it takes them a little bit longer, a little bit more desperate. You know what I mean? You following my line of logic?
I see. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
No, it's taking too long.
Okay.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Conventional underwater scooters can be heavy, unwieldy, and underpowered. At just over 8 pounds and with speeds of up to 7 miles per hour, the Scuba Jet Pro dive scooter is a game changer and fits in your dive bag. The Scuba Jet Pro uses an eco-friendly jet engine with impeller technology. With adapters, it can even power paddleboards, canoes, kayaks, and all kinds of water sports equipment. It's the most versatile scooter you'll ever own. Learn more and get the Scuba Jet Pro at ScubaJet.com. That's ScubaJet.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving, flying, and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving, flying, and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why I wanted to tell you about Nanook Professional Protective Cases. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook cases generally cost less than similar products currently on the market. From an iPhone to a full set of dive gear, whatever you need to shield from the elements, Nanook Professional Protective Cases has the size, shape, and color for you. Go to Nanook.com. That's NANUK.com for Nanook Professional Protective Cases. The evolution of protection.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
Later, nerd.
Are you lacking with the ladies?
Nope.
Enhance your scuba superpowers with a new ScubaRadio hat.
Wow, nice hat.
Just picked it up at ScubaRadio.com.
Buy 2 ScubaRadio hats and get free shipping.
Need a dive buddy, sexy?
Always, and I got a Scuba Radio hat for you, too.
New ScubaRadio hats are now available at ScubaRadio.com.
So cool.
Order yours today, or stay a loser.
Let me tell you about a friend I know. He's got the world's first scuba diving radio show. So now everywhere I am, and everywhere I go, the first thing that I tune to is Scuba Radio.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. All right, I think we got to back up because I think I've lost everybody in my line of thinking when it comes to lobster. Let me reset here a little bit.
Saying the ugly ones get pregnant last.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when lobster season opens up at the end of July, last Tuesday and Wednesday of July in Florida, you may come across, several lobsters that have eggs.
Now, how long do they keep their eggs is the thing.
Well, why would it matter?
Because maybe they got pregnant right away. Maybe your theory is wrong.
Well, they got pregnant right away, and then they keep their eggs and they drop them. And
right,
then,
that's what I'm saying. Do they not keep them for 3 months?
I don't know. I don't know what the gestation
if it's 3 months,
period
then
is
your theory is crap.
No. It's just some of them, they close down the season for catching them, so the lobsters have a chance to reproduce. Right. And this is it's like spring. Love is in the air. They give them a chance to get their freak on, and then they, get the lobsters to carry the little babies, and then the female lobsters will, carry the eggs for a while, and then they'll drop them once they're ready to, drop. Right. But if they get impregnated too late in the season, once the season opens up, you might come across lobsters with eggs, and we can't take those. We don't want to take them. We want them to make more baby lobsters, right? But what my point is when you see those particular lobsters, just know those are the ugly ones. They had a longer time to get hooked up.
They're all kind of ugly. If you really
don't be a hater, CJ. Come on.
I'm not. I love eating them, but
yeah. Well, would you?
They're not the most beautiful creature.
But knowing that you're eating a prettier lobster, or one that is, more attractive to it.
I don't want. I couldn't tell them apart, to be honest with you.
I don't know if they taste different.
They all look the same to me.
Well, okay. I guess there's that.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm. They're delicious whether they're ugly or not, is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. We cleared that up as much as mud or something. Okay. More coming up.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Immerse yourself in a whole new world when you go deep sea diving.
Oh, I've got the perfect outfit. This is great! No one can find us under the water.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ in the studio with me. We have the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad connected via the web. That would be Barry the Bugger, Bubble Boy, Jerry the Diver Guy, Vinny Two Tanks, Cat Moldy Martini. We lost the Aqua Gypsy. She's off wandering the world, or she just had enough.
She's got stuff to study and catalog.
Right. She went off to go study coral.
She's doing God's work.
Okay. All right. That's good.
She dropped the turtles off at the aquarium.
No, I don't. Well, maybe. I don't know. It could be. Maybe she'll pop back on and explain. But we, she's had enough of this. Can you blame her? Of course not. But it's unfortunate because I did have a story just for her that I wanted her thoughts on.
Cool. So that spared us.
Fishermen in Yemen
you're going to tell them anyway.
Yeah. Fishermen in Yemen have discovered some ambergris. Is that how you say it? Ambergris? Which is whale vomit. And it's worth like, $1.5 million.
Yeah, they make perfume out of it.
Yeah. It's kind of a big thing.
Barry knows about this?
Yeah, tell us, Barry. He knows.
He wears
it. They make perfume out of it. And to answer your other question, it's 3 weeks for lobster eggs.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So that is the gestation period for a Florida spiny lobster is 3 weeks once they get.
So I guess Greg's theory holds.
Yeah. Well, you thought I was just spreading rumor and innuendo?
You didn't know either.
Not
to
this
be fair,
time.
You did not know either.
Well, I didn't know, but I mean, I didn't know exactly what the period was, but.
Who cares? Seriously, who cares?
It's a theory that is based in science. Okay, anyway, ambergris, or as we like to call whale vomit, is what exact? Well, that's what it is.
You just said what it is.
Yeah,
they
but
use
I
it
mean,
for making perfume.
Yeah,
I have no idea who came up with that idea.
Yeah, well, how desperate were they to say that? Hey, you know what? We smell terrible. Let's wipe whale vomit on ourselves.
It was more like, here's whale vomit. What can we do with it? How can we sell this?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a strange looking black goo. I mean, it's actually hard, like a rock. I guess it floats. Once a sperm whale produces this stuff.
Uh-oh.
And evidently, if you find a chunk of this floating on the surface, the picture of it just looks like, I don't know, black charcoal type looking thing. Bubble Boy, what say you?
Is this similar to the product that you sell on Scuba Radio?
Which product are we talking about exactly?
Oh, the one that you rub all over your body and makes you smell like.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I think he's talking about berry vomit.
No.
He's talking about something that you like to go visit when you go to some island.
Oh, the mud baths.
The crab poo, or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, that's a spa treatment. That's a totally different thing.
Oh, it's much better that way.
Yeah, when you call it a spa treatment, yes, it is way better for sure. But it's technically
doesn't make it any better.
Organic matter that had been digested by crabs, and then you spread it all over yourself, and
did it to shut him
your
up.
Skin as smooth as a baby butt.
I did it to shut you up.
Right, and it worked. Look, you're 105, and you don't look a day over 60.
It hides all the liver spots.
Look at him on YouTube. You'll see what I'm talking about.
That was because of the crab.
Yeah. Camel D. Martini, what say you? What do you
I
think?
thought they were talking about stank.
That's
Stank.
exactly
It could have been.
Thank you, Walt.
Okay. The new product that we have. Yeah.
Where's the prize?
We might.
That'd be more of like a chum or fish attractant.
Very possible. Very possible. But
Let's go regurgitate.
Yeah,
Let's go regurgitation diving.
Oh, well, okay. That kind of brings me to
Is that a special certification?
Well, no. Look, if we go out on our next dive in Florida or anywhere and maybe go on a whale vomit hunt. I mean, lobster season is closed.
I'm good.
We can take our we can take our scuba jets that we just and go find us some whale vomit and retire.
We got to get Clay to get us a trip going.
Well, we could do it on a liveaboard. We could do it right off the coast of Florida. I mean, whales are everywhere, these sperm whales, and I don't know how hard it is to find this ambergris stuff. I mean, evidently it's fairly rare, but they said these fishermen in Yemen have seen this a lot of times. They didn't know what it was.
What day is today?
A Saturday.
The 11th?
Okay, no, it's the 10th.
I just want to document this.
Yeah.
Today's the day.
Today
it finally
is the day.
happened.
What?
You've broken from reality.
What do you mean? No, this isn't some April Fool's joke. This is the God's honest truth. What are you talking about?
You're having a
I'm saying lobster season is over.
Little vacation from reality.
If we want to go on a mission dive,
just humor him, everybody.
We go
it's not
on
best to not disturb him when he's
we go
having
on
an
an
episode.
ambergris dive hunt.
Right. Sure. Okay.
Look how much this stuff is worth, CJ.
Great. Good idea.
I mean,
It's going to toss you into the water and watch you ambergris all over.
The picture I have of this ambergris looks like the size. They have it sitting like on a coffee table in front of these fishermen in Yemen. Okay. And so, 420 kilograms was one of the largest ones found. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's about the largest. What is that? Kilograms. Quick, Barry. What is that in pounds?
Fascinating.
Kilograms? Huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of pounds.
It's a lot of pounds. Is 420?
What do they say about what it's worth?
Like 1.5 million or 1.5 million dollars on the street. Yeah.
I want to go regurgitation diving.
Yeah,
Make
that's
some
great.
money.
See,
that's great.
Think about that. We could get $1 million.
They only regurgitate it when it doesn't come out the other end.
Well,
that's generally how it works.
Well,
thank you, Dr. Barry.
You're welcome.
I think they produce it either way. Isn't that right? Or does it have to be regurgitated to be the ambergris, Barry, or can it be digested?
It's called ambergris. It's supposed to be digested. It's supposed to keep sharp objects from damaging their intestines as it goes through. But sometimes it's so large they can't push it through the other end, so they burp it back up.
Okay. Sounds delicious.
Learn something new every day.
What do you think?
I have two things.
Yeah.
Can you find this in Ambergris Key?
Oh, there you go. In Belize, yeah, probably. That would be the best place to start.
Actually, that's a good question.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I never thought of Ambergris Key being named Ambergris Key. And when you translate it, it's Whale Vomit Key.
That's great.
How about that?
And 2.2 pounds is 1 kilo.
2.2, okay.
1 kilogram.
So that's about 800-pound thing of goo.
So we're going to need a crane.
When you live on the water in Fort Lauderdale, you have to know your kilos because they float in all the time.
That was my best, Barry.
Whale puke is wax, Greg.
It's waxy?
It's waxy.
It's wax.
Okay. So, I mean, but it's still
nothing but
solid.
wax, but the whales use it to lube their intestines.
Be careful.
To keep like beaks from squid and etc. from puncturing them. Helps them.
Gary beat you to that.
Okay. So it's like whale Metamucil.
Thank you, Vinny.
All right.
It's a repeat.
But so you're saying this ambergris would have kind of a waxy feel to it?
Yep.
All right.
That's all it is wax.
So you could just spread it all over your body.
Does it float? I would assume it floats.
It does. It floats.
So, I mean, we'd have to get in the water to get it out of the water, but we got to find the stuff first.
So we got to look for anything floating that's sort of a brownish gray color.
We got to get out on the dive boat, look for a floater.
There is.
And jump
in Hollywood. There's a pipe that lets all that stuff out. I'll take you out there and drop you in the water.
Let me bust your bubble.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
You can't sell ambers in the U.S. So
why? Because it's a sperm whale thing.
Must be.
Yeah, because it's whale parts. Oh,
it's
man.
like rhino horns.
To China we will go. To China we will go.
Okay. Well,
we're getting rich because we're going to China.
Maybe is that why it's so valuable? Is because it's illegal?
It comes from an endangered species.
Oh, golly. But they're ejecting it.
Yeah, they're not killing the animal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these guys in Yemen, this was from a sperm whale that had died. They came across, and they found the ambergris as a bonus.
Natural causes.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Harpoon.
So supposedly it's illegal in U.S. waters, huh, Jerry? That's what you're reading?
It's illegal to sell it.
Oh,
well,
man.
there goes that plan.
Gosh, I thought we had a whole new thing that we could put on the diver list. You can still find it. You just can't sell it. I mean, just having the honor to say.
So it's useless.
You can make a rum out of it, according to what I've read.
Really?
Walt just got interested.
If it's that expensive,
rum, you say?
You could sell it.
Yeah, well, you could sell it on some market, probably a black one or something. But what are you going to do? All right. Well, we learned stuff. What not to do, I guess.
Scuba Radio.
Would you like to talk diving? Greg the Dive Master's all toweled down and ready to take your call now. Call Scuba Radio at 1-888-88-SCUBA.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer. And Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Peregrine is a simple, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It's also the most economical Shearwater dive computer released to date. Check it out and the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater. Dive computers for demanding divers.
Do you have a message or a product that you'd like to share with the diving world? Well, look no further than Scuba Radio. Just like you, thousands of diving enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to ScubaRadio.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Hi, this is Neil Watson, the Dive God.
And I'm Peter Hughes.
These guys come from legend. They're basically gods.
We've been around the block a time or two with the diving industry.
But I've never heard something as nutty as this.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
God's friggin' gift to humanity.
Now here's a guy I've been putting up with for over 20 years.
Greg the Dive Master.
You can tell the master I'm done for the day.
Now beat it, loser.
And by the way, Greg, it's Peter Huge.
Whoa.
Wow. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. I don't know. I've been looking up this ambergris stuff. We may have an option, and we may have to get some more of this to help out our new sponsor.
Ever wondered how to get those underwater photos with the divers surrounded by fish? Here's a photo pro tip. Put some stank on it.
Wow, fish love you. Never seen anything like it.
Want to know my secret?
Put some stank on it.
It was amazing. The fish came right up to my mask.
Stank stands for smell that air never kills. Rub copious amounts of stank all over your face, chest, neck, legs, and buttocks and become irresistible to marine life.
Oh, what is that rank smell?
Stank chemically simulates rotting fish without the bloody mess of chum or cumbersome meat necklace.
What the hell?
The fish think you're one of them.
That's nasty.
Put some stank on it. One dose is all it takes. It doesn't wash off in water or ever.
Wait, you mean this shit's never coming off?
Hey, I didn't see any fish.
Put some stank on it. Smell that air never kills. Stank. Use only as directed, not to be taken orally, not for nasal insertion. Keep away from eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and rectum. Not responsible for alienation, ostracization, loss of job, friends, or marital separation, and or divorce.
You know, I think ambergris is actually a key ingredient to that. So we may have some issues with that new sponsor. We might not.
That's their problem.
That's true.
You ought to get the other sponsor that does the cream, the stink cream, and then turn the stank into a cream.
Stank?
Okay. All right. Well, regardless, I don't know. I that may be the main ingredient, though. I think that stuff is pretty expensive for what it's worth, too. So
all I know is if you go collect it and try to sell it, you're up to Punami Creek.
Well, I just read some stuff that you can do that. Like they sell some of this stuff on eBay. So it depends on what country you're in. Jerry, is that true? Or what?
As long as it ain't in the U.S., you can sell it.
Huh. Well, okay. So I don't know. Maybe we could still find some. Maybe you just find it for the sake of finding.
You can fly with it.
Can you? Okay. According to Vinny Two Tanks.
You first.
And his scientific opinion.
But Vinny's flying all the time, though.
You could ship it. I mean, come on.
Well, maybe. I don't know. But
you can put it in little spare airs.
Hide it in your orifice.
There you go.
Uh-huh. Okay. Enough about the ambergris. But I just thought it would be something new. I'm always looking for new things to do on your dive. Something that we haven't done. Because you get that question or you get that comment every now and then from people that, have gotten certified to scuba dive. And they said, oh, yeah, I got certified 5 years ago, and I did it for a couple years, and I haven't done it in a long time. And I'm like, you haven't dove. If you're a diver, there's so many different types of dives to do. Whether it's lobster hunting, which is one of our favorites, right, CJ?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Or maybe you will go on an ambergris dive hunt.
Just when I think I start feeling that way, which I never do, but if I was to, I just look to my left and I watch Greg pull out his regulator and vomit. Right into the ocean.
That is
and I
very
went, wow,
valuable.
now I've seen everything.
If you could get a chunk of that before the fish ate it, I bet you could sell it for big bucks.
It's
on eBay, it would be an auction.
Then you're not a whale.
Greg would make a good regurgitation diver trainer.
Yeah, see? This is Greg the Dive Master's vomit. Bidding starts at $1. And Barry's supposed to chime in right now. So I'll buy that for $1.
No, I won't.
Okay.
All Greg has to do is eat a spicy Nashville chicken sandwich before he goes on a dive.
I did think he was going to lose consciousness.
What do you mean? When?
Last week when you ate that sandwich, he had a chicken sandwich and it was really hot.
Yeah.
Oh, I better call 911.
Yeah, it did. We got a new sandwich at the restaurant there that we go to after the show. No, and it had some kind of new hot sauce on it, and I'm like, ho! Hey!
I was looking for the defibrillator.
Yeah, it was a bit much. It was Nashville.
We almost lost him, ladies and gentlemen.
Hot sauce or something.
His pale skin really turned red, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
I finished mine,
special
but I paid for it 2 hours later.
The only thing that stopped the heat was he sat on an ice cream cone.
Works every time. So take that little tip and use it accordingly. All right. So the other thing I wanted to bring up real quick before we get into hour 2, a record was broke in the last week or two.
Or broken.
In Egypt for the highest jump for a free diver with a monofin out of the water. So like, like Air Jaws.
Yeah.
This guy's trying to replicate that experience as a free diver with a monofin.
Why?
How high do you think he got out of the water?
Don't care.
What do you mean? Don't
Okay,
care?
I'll play.
It's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay.
How high do you think he jumped up out of the water wearing a monofin?
What part is
free
measured
diving?
from the bottom of the fin, or like what's?
No, how high did he get his
I
head
know.
out of the water?
His head?
Well, yeah, the top of him. How
I'd
high?
say 6 feet.
Okay. Vinny says 6. CJ says
I say 5.
5. Okay. Bubble Boy, what do you think?
I say 10 feet.
10 feet.
$1.
No, wait. Okay, Barry, go. What?
12.
12 feet. And Jerry, the diver guy?
15.
15. And Captain Walt, what do you say?
5.
5. The answer is, well, we'll share the answer with everyone at the top of hour 2, so stick around.
Ah, son of a...
It's coming up next, I promise, on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Radio, the world's first scuba diving show. From Captain Ron to Jock Cousteau, they all love scuba radio. On the boat or down below, if you want to stay in the know. If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go!
Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio.
This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.
Oh, hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling the radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that Scuba Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome to hour 2 of the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me.
Coming at you in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, and the answer to our question from hour 1, the distance or height that this free diver with a monofin jumped out of the water was 2.3 meters, which translates into about 7 feet, right?
7.6 feet.
7.6 inches. 7.6
I
inches.
call BS.
I was the
7 to 8
closest.
feet, yeah.
Yeah. Who was the closest? Vinny Two Tanks?
I said 6.
Okay. I think
Vinny's the winner.
He was the closest guest without going over. He wins the big prize, which is a giant waxy buildup of ambergris whale vomit.
Right from Greg's.
Thank you. I could sell that.
Yes.
Greg's inner ear.
Right.
Greg's inner ear.
Yeah. That's, well, anyway, moving on. See, you waited for an entire hour, too, to get to this.
I don't believe it.
What do you mean you don't believe it? I see the pictures.
Sounds too high.
Happened in Egypt, and you think you could beat that?
No,
Swim down with a
that's why I don't think
monofin?
it- No.
You don't think you can get that high out of the water?
I'm really, I'd like to go on record to say I am anti this whole little
What?
stunt.
What do you mean?
He stands
Freediving
for-
out of the
this
water with a
stands for
monofin.
everything we're against. We're trying to get down into the water, not jump up out of it. What kind of jerk jumps up out of the water?
Well, if you have a scuba jet.
Well, okay. That's a good point. I bet you could get a lot higher with a scuba jet for sure.
I'd rather get down into the water.
What-
I'd rather
what
stay
goes
down.
up,
I'm a
must
real
come down.
diver. I'm not trying to jump out of the water.
Well,
like
if
this jackass.
You could. Well, think about that. We could take our scuba jet. We
Look
could,
at me! I'm jumping out of the water. Whee!
Boy, CJ has a
Stupid.
real issue with this.
Stupid.
I understand you want to get underwater. I do understand what you're saying, but think of the fun factor.
Greg,
what?
What is the letter U in scuba stand for?
Underwater.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I rest my
And should we
case.
never travel faster than our bubbles to the surface? So
No.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you don't want to. You wouldn't want to
Excellent
do
point.
It
Thank
on the
you.
Tank, there, Bubble Boy. But if you're free diving, if you're just like snorkeling and kind of jumping up
This
out of the water,
isn't free diving radio, is it?
yeah, I guess you're right.
I
Okay.
always
Scuba
go
radio.
snorkeling in a panhandle, Greg.
All right, but it does sound fun. I mean, if I had you remember how fast we went on the scuba jets, right?
Why
And
don't you go snorkel in a septic tank?
excuse me,
Why don't you go do that?
that's
Yeah,
not
the punani
appropriate.
of a time,
Okay, just stop it already. Jeez.
Yeah, maybe you'll find some whale vomit.
Okay.
You sicko.
We have some special guests with us. We have Hannes from Scuba Jet with us on Scuba Radio today. Hannes, how are you, buddy? What's going on, man?
I'm doing great, Greg. Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. Sorry about being a little bit late, but I've been super busy, to sign up a lot of new dealers around here in Florida.
Well, you know what? He's been keeping busy, and we are going to get an update on that here in just a bit. So, Hannes, just stand by, just kick in, soak in this whole experience, and I apologize in advance. He's probably regretting it totally for joining us because he kind of came in at a very odd.
Who knows
and
what's in
awkward
somebody's
time.
head?
Yeah. So Hannes just kind of soaking in, and then we'll talk more about the scuba jet. But first, I do want to talk to our special guest, Ian, who, whether he knows it tonight, or not, this might be news to him. He is the Diver of the Week, brought to you by the Shearwater Peregrine. Embark on your adventure. Ian, congratulations.
Yeah, me.
Yeah. And I know what you're thinking. Like, what do I get? Well, absolutely nothing. But you do get the title
Prestige.
of being the Diver of the Week. So congratulations.
Prestige, exactly.
Yeah. Now, Ian, for folks who don't know, has it's Dive Guide, right? That's the program, and you can.
Reef Smart Guys. Yep.
Yep, they do Dive
Master.
Guides, and you guys have a brand new release that has just been put out. Is it for the Panhandle of Florida? Is that where it was, or
Yes,
what?
for the Panhandle. It's our 6th book now. So
Nice.
we've done it. It's the 3rd one we've done now for Florida. So we did Palm Beach. We did Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
We're working on the Keys. That's the next one. But I mean, when you talk about Florida, most people say, well, like Southern Florida, the Keys, Palm Beach, there's great diving.
Yeah.
Not many people talk about the Panhandle, Northwest Florida. And so we had talked to some people up there who said, you have to come down and take a look at Northwest Florida. We've got some stunning dives.
Excellent.
We were familiar with Oriskany, obviously, like everyone knows Oriskany. And
Right.
we were aware that there was a bunch of other tugs and and freighters and stuff like that. But we were blown away by the diversity of the dives that are there, the wrecks. There's also some natural ledges, tons of historical wrecks as well. So really neat diving. Yeah, we had no idea what to expect when we got down there, but it was pretty special.
So you've done a 3D rendering of the Oriskany. That's part of this project?
We did the 3D rendering of the Oriskany a while back, actually.
Yeah.
That was one of the first ones we did before we even went down there. And we took a couple of trips over the last 2 years. In fact, Pete's been the one, my business partner's been going down most because he's in Florida. Of course, I'm locked away up here in Canada, can't leave.
So glad I'm not you. Wow. But yeah, Canada is having a tough time.
I was desperate to get out. But anyway, yeah, we so the Oriskany we had already done, but then we started mapping the others. So there's 48 sites that have been three-dimensionally modeled for the guidebook in this one, including some of the historical wrecks. Tarpon is one of my favorites. That was a beautiful wreck site. The Empire Mica, which was one that's way out to sea.
Yeah.
Not dive very often just because the distance from shore, it's about 30 miles out.
Wow.
But it was a British tanker that was carrying kerosene during the war that sort of helped the war effort in Europe, and it got torpedoed by a German U-boat. Went up, obviously, as you can imagine, carrying kerosene. It gets hit by a torpedo. It doesn't last long, but that thing went down, and the wreck dive is just mind-blowing. I've never seen anything like it. Just the size of the structure, swimming through.
How deep are we talking on that particular wreck?
It's about 110 feet.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, you drop off the side of the boat. It's sharky as hell as well, right? I mean, everything from you can imagine bull sharks. As soon as we go down, there's bull sharks everywhere.
Wow.
These great big jacks and stuff.
But
so
it's no different, Greg, than it's no different than going out and diving on the Oriskany either. I mean, it's
Well, it's not as big as the Oriskany.
You're that deep too, though.
Yeah,
you're that far offshore.
The Oriskany is a lot deep. Wasn't the Oriskany is about 212, something like that?
Yeah.
I think on the bottom.
You're like 140, 45, 150, somewhere through there to the flat deck.
Well, but the Oriskany is way bigger than that wreck too.
Yeah, it is, but it's if you've not dove the Oriskany, then.
So what do you? I think what Jerry's trying to say is all wrecks look the same.
No, save your money. The Oriskany, I'm telling you, there's a lot of great dives in the Panhandle. The Oriskany, it's a great dive. I liked it, but still, there's a lot more better dives in the Panhandle.
Well, and you can get a little glimpse of them in the new dive guide. And by the way, the website, let's make sure we get it out there, Ian. Dive guide what?
It's Reef Smart Guides.
Reef Smart Guides, right.
ReefSmartGuides.com.
There you go. And see, here's the thing. I wanted to have you on with Hannes from Scuba Jet because I'm telling you, if you had a Scuba Jet, you'd be able to put out a book every week because you could cover so many different. Oh, you're using them already. Well, see, what do I know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Look,
yes.
Let me tell you, we use the Scuba Jet on a lot of these dives.
Oh,
When you're talking about some of the larger wrecks that we're doing, we need to be able to zip around on the Scuba.
Of course.
Scuba Jet allows us to get from one side to the other.
Yeah, because you're scanning them with your cameras and creating this.
Yeah, exactly. So we do the three-dimensional model by taking, it's like a sort of photogrammetry method all the way around the ship.
Right.
So we actually have to stand back away from the ship, take photographs all the way along one side, around the edge, and back down the other side. And then someone else is doing the other structures over the top.
Wow.
So when you've got a ship that's something like the Oriskany, it doesn't even have to be the Oriskany, something like half the size of that. It's a lot of dives, especially when it's deep. So you need something that will get you around a little bit easier.
And the Scuba Jet.
We've been using the Scuba Jet a lot, especially in current, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You need the extra power. You need the battery life, or as the longer one. What did you call it last week?
Home wrecker.
Yeah, you need that one, or the mini Hickory Farm smoked sausage size Scuba Jet. We'll explain next. Stay close to the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Be an explorer. in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of ScubaRadio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures ScubaRadio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer, and Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Taric is the best, most intuitive, and reliable wristwatch-sized dive computer on the market. Check it out in the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater, dive computers for demanding divers.
ScubaRadio.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with ScubaRadio.
ScubaRadio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
ScubaRadio.
Dive, dive, dive.
You're listening to ScubaRadio. 20 years.
Make that 24 now.
And still sucking.
Suck.
On air.
Hey, come on. That stings.
You can hear it on Scuba Radio, the world's first scuba diving show. From Captain Ron to Jock Gusto, they all love Scuba Radio. On the boat or down below, if you want to stay in the know.
You ever think about that? I didn't know.
If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go!
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. 24 years. That was a good party last week, wouldn't you say, CJ, from what you remember? Or did you block most of it out?
Yeah, it was fun. I think for a second.
You had to? Okay. All right. Well, look.
Yeah.
We have the Diver of the Week, Ian, from Reef Smart Guides on Scuba Radio. Congratulations to him for being the Diver of the Week.
Thank you once again.
And
you had to tell Pete that he lost out on this one, Ian.
Okay, Pete is your partner, and
is my partner.
From Reef Smart Guides. And yeah, is he stateside or is he in Canada with you? Where is he at?
No, he's stateside. He's from Canada originally, but
right.
He lives in Florida.
Okay. Well, he's open. I talked to some other folks in Canada this week, and you guys are having a tough time right now with the whole lockdown stuff. Is this like phase 4 for Canada? Is that what I'm hearing, or what?
Pretty much phase 3. But there's not. I mean, the thing is like that. It's getting the time of year we can actually go outside, which is something.
Yeah.
So at least there's a little bit of diving can be done if you like diving in rivers and lakes. You don't have to dive beneath the ice anymore.
Yeah, but they're not letting you out, is what I heard. Is it pretty locked down right now?
Yeah, there's a lockdown. There's a curfew at 8:00. So
geez,
we're not even allowed.
Well, glad I'm not you, Ian. But regardless, I know you had a birthday this week, so happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday! How did you know that?
We do our research every now and then, and little people tell us these things. So happy birthday, and maybe they'll let you out of your dungeon up there in the Great White North eventually. But yeah, the dive guide, you can order it online. It might show up on your favorite dive center here in Florida, I would assume. And Jerry,
in the Panhandle, there's a lot of dive centers that have ordered direct from the publisher, so they should have the book in stock about the same time as it's officially published, which is great. And that's going to be the 25th of May, right in time for the season. And we're sponsoring the Emerald Coast Open as well, the Lionfish tournament. So
yeah, that's coming up in May. Actually, exactly. That's the weekend of my birthday, believe it or not. So
we're not doing anything for your birthday, Greg.
No, you're going to get a piece of coal.
Ironically, coal looks a lot like ambergris from the pictures that I've seen.
Everyone send your barf to Greg Holt.
Anyway, I didn't know you were already you literally have been using the scuba jets then to map some of these sites that you got in the book.
We went to a dive show, must have been a couple of years ago now. It was when Scuba Jet first launched, and we had seen various kinds of propulsion devices over the years, but they're always quite cumbersome, right? And Scuba Jet is quite small and compact, so it worked for us. So we had a lot of fun zipping around in the Panhandle. There's a lot of bridge stands that are in the water as well as artificial reefs. Some of them will be mapped for the book, but we were zipping around through the girders of the bridge spans, which is kind of fun.
Well, I was going to say one of the things with these scuba jets is you could do wall flying or pylon flying, I guess is where or I don't know. They're just cruising around on those things, which is what CJ and I did a couple weeks ago down there off the coast of South Florida. We were staying at the Gomez Hilton. We just had a blast just seeing how fast these things could go. Now, Hannes is with us from Scuba Jet. And Hannes, have you gotten under the water with these as well, or no?
Absolutely. So I've been using them underwater as well as on the water because, as you remember, we are pretty versatile using it on different watercrafts at the end. But I really loved what Ian is saying because I think this is definitely all in our ballpark because we are very happy to see that also professional divers are using it for their productions because we see it as a recreational device, but it's also a very professional device on the other hand as well.
No doubt. No, so, these things are very well thought out and designed. All metal pretty much on the outside. They're very well machined. They're the company's from Austria. So it has that whole kind of special engineering kind of vibe to it. Very high end kind of feel to it. But, that was the first time that we had the opportunity to actually get them underwater and see how fast they could go because they're small. Like I said, they're about the size of a Hickory Farm smoked sausage, so they're just that thick and you just, hold on to the handles of the dive propulsion option. And this thing pulls you through the water with, it pulls water in from the front of the unit and then it blows it out the back and it sucks you along as it goes. And I wasn't really sure how fast and powerful these things were going to be because I just thought, they look good. They're machined really well, but they're so friggin' dinky. They're small. I don't know. This might be one of the smallest scooters that have ever hit the market. Matter of fact, I'm almost positive that is the case. Is that what you found from everybody that you've been sharing these with for the last few months there, Hannes, or what?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's pretty much the smallest one. We can be very sure about that. And I think that's also the big difference between us and some of our competitors because we are using a jet engine compared to propeller. And I think that's, on the one hand, allows us to make it way smaller, but also it's way safer than any propeller.
And way cooler
that
looking.
Is out there on the market.
Yeah.
And way cooler looking too, absolutely, yeah.
And as you were alluding to.
We're super happy because we are, Well, we're super happy because we are producing that in Europe, right? So everything is produced in Austria and in Germany.
Right.
So as you already said, it's German engineering back in there and using marine grade materials and we are super happy
it's
about
very James Bond,
looks.
Very high end James Bond kind of feel to it. And the thing is too is that it's powerful, much more powerful than you expect, almost surprisingly so. Because when we started going, we were running at like 50% power, right, CJ?
Yeah, we were hauling butt.
And we're like, whoa, hey.
Yeah, you got to watch where you're going. You're like, woo.
Yeah, hold on. and you're in for a ride. But that's
super fun.
That's what makes it, so much fun underwater when you're cruising. I mean, I used to do this back in the day. We've had scooters early on in Scuba Radio, and I've always been a big fan. But they've always been big, and they're fun to use when you have access to them. But you can't really take them on a dive boat because they're too big and bulky and that kind of thing, and just not practical. But this new Scuba Jet, and checking out ScubaJet.com. You'll see that you can pop this in your dive bag. It comes apart and it'll sit in your dive bag very easily with the rest of your gear. And you will be the talk of the dive boat if you bring one of these things on board. And everyone's going to ask you, hey, can I try it? Can I try it? I'm like, Oh, hell no. Go buy your own, loser. That kind of thing. So there's a lot of bonuses to having a Scuba Jet. So we got a few ideas of what we're going to do with ours. Next, we'll talk about it. Stay close.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Scuba action star Mike Scott is back in a new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys, Reefs Under Pressure. From author Eric Douglas comes the one that started it all. Listen as Mike deals with submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface.
Download Cayman Cowboys or Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, and audible.com.
Do you have a message or a product that you'd like to share with the diving world? Well, look no further than Scuba Radio. Just like you, thousands of diving enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to ScubaRadio.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Let me tell you about a friend I know. He's got the world's first scuba diving radio show. So now everywhere I am, and everywhere I go, the first thing that I tune to is Scuba Radio.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ is in the studio with me, my fellow Scuba Jet dive buddy from just a couple weeks ago. We got in the water, brought our Scuba Jets. It was the first time we really had an opportunity to put them underwater and put them to the test. And they really, they surprised both of us, right?
They were awesome.
Yeah, even the smaller size, the battery life on these Hannes, what is the guideline? I mean, they lasted more, plenty long enough for, I would say, I thought we could have at least done an hour or more, even on the smaller unit with the battery charge. Is that pretty much what you've been getting or what?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Always depends, of course, on what you're carrying with it, right? If you have a full diver, technical diver with a couple of tanks and stuff like that, of course, you need to use more thrust for the same type of speed, so you're going to go up a little faster. So it depends, but usually an hour and a half should be definitely sufficient if you go with the Pro version. If you go to the XR version, it should technically double it because the battery size is twice as big.
There you go.
But also, as you said before, I mean, I can see the same reaction as you had when you go on 50% of thrust, that everybody is like, when you look at it outside of the water, they're always like, it's not going to work.
Right.
And I was, okay, no problem. Let's put it into the pool, right? And then they actually put it into the pool and they're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then I said, yeah, but that was only 40%. So
yeah, we created a fountain. We created a water show at the Gomez Hilton during our stay. It was like the Bellagio fountain in Vegas. And
I think they had like a little water fight or something.
Well, it is. I mean, it's impressive. But until you actually get them underwater out in the ocean, you don't really know what they could do. But, we're playing with the water. It's like, holy crap, this thing's shooting water like, 15, 20 feet up in the air.
It's like a fire hose.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Lots of fun you can do with the Scuba Jet. Check it out, scubajet.com. We got more coming up. Stay close. If you're going down, you're in the right place. Grab a Scuba Jet if you can, though, because, you'll have a hell of a lot more fun. And that's really what it's all about. You cover a lot of ground with a Scuba Jet. That's why I thought it would be ideal for lobster season. Now, lobster season is closed, and I can't really use it until the end of July for that purpose. Because, once again, we mentioned this last week, you cover so much ground, and just finding lobsters is 90% of the challenge of catching them and eating them. Right, CJ?
Yeah, for sure.
So, that's where a Scuba Jet or underwater dive scooter can come to your advantage. But maybe we could just go for a cruise for ambergris. Do you know what that is, by the way, Hannes? I know you came in late to the show today. You don't know?
Say no.
Yeah, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Yeah.
But regardless, whatever purpose you want to use these things for, you can cover a lot of real estate, a lot of ground on a Scuba Jet. And or just bask in the glory of being able to fly over the reef. And that, experience in itself is what makes these things so much fun. Now, by a show of hands of the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad, how many of you have actually used underwater scooters? Obviously, CJ's in the studio. All right, Bubble Boy, you did? I don't remember you doing it. And obviously...
Greg, when we were over at Wiki Wachi.
Okay, yeah. But those didn't really count.
No.
They counted. They were fun.
Well, they were, but you didn't have
not to do somersaults underwater.
Yeah, but you could only be in the basin there.
He made his own ambergris.
When he did a somersault.
Yeah.
A tsunami of a time.
He went down into Bubble Boy went down into the deep hole of Wiki Wachi, but that's a whole nother story. Walt DeMartini's used scooters, evidently. Is that right, Walt? Where did you do that back in the day?
Lauderdale Diver had some, and they put some on my boat.
Okay, all right. So
they were the large, the big yellow ones.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Scooters are usually big and weldy and not very practical.
Well, you had like the Sea-Doo brand, and I mean, there was several out there.
Yeah. No, they're a lot of fun, but like I said, they're not very practical. And the thing about the Scuba Jet is also it's modular, and you can use it on a like stand-up paddleboard. They got a mount for that. So if you want to, act like you're a real healthy person and you're into exercising, you can put it on a paddleboard and stand on top of it and let it putt you around and go for miles. And people go, wow, look at the stamina on that guy. And you'd be cheating.
Me and Hannes had a great talk about this, Greg. At Captain Walt's house one day at the Gomez.
Yeah.
And there is so many, just like you said, you can throw them on a paddleboard, but you can do them on kayaks. I mean, there's so many different ways to use them.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. You'd put on a kayak, you put them on a paddleboard, like you said, and look like you're a fitness guru and just outlast everybody. Don't tell them that you have a Scuba Jet mounted on the bottom of this thing. That's where I think you could have a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? No, nobody's with me on this, huh?
See I don't think anybody's going to mistake you for a fitness guru. Greg.
Well, look at me.
That's why. Maybe Matt might. That's about it.
All right. That'll be enough out of you. Anyway, you could do this, and that's, they've really thought this scuba jet through quite well. And Hannes, I mean, you're not a certified scuba diver, so you haven't used it in that sense, but you've snorkeled around with it. Is that right? Is that the deal?
That is correct. Yes, I'm in the process. I definitely want to get certified pretty soon. So
okay, all right.
And but I definitely used it as snorkeling, for swimming, all this beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just putzing around,
tons of fun.
And the pool at the Gomez Hilton is a lot of fun.
Outrun assassins.
Okay, you could do that too. It is very James Bond. It is.
It's a good point. Yeah. I mean, Ryan Reynolds did that on Six Underground, right? So because we mentioned James Bond before, but Ryan Reynolds actually tried to get away from that. So
Ryan, is that Deadpool? Is that the Deadpool guy?
Yeah, that's Deadpool guy. Yeah,
that's a
big
Deadpool
fan.
guy.
Big fan.
There
you
go. You have to explain it to him.
Yeah, Captain Walt, what say you? What do you think? Captain Walt DiMartini.
Honest could come over and use the Gomez Hilton pool for his
for a water
training.
show.
Yeah, no, it's training.
A training. Well, there you go. Yeah, you could do some training, and in between the training, put on a water show. I think honestly, you get 4 scuba jets, put them in each corner of the pool, and just let them go to town.
Synchronized.
Yeah, do it at night, and the Gomez Hilton has special lighting on the pool area. It looked magical.
Synchronized scuba jetting.
Yeah,
synchronized. We'll blow the Bellagio away.
Yeah, exactly. Have way more fun than going to Vegas.
Make a video
of it.
Yeah. We actually do have some video of this already, Vinny. We just haven't put it out there on the interweb, so it's coming. We're working on it.
R.
Why did he say that? I don't know. Anyway,
lack of judgment.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it is.
Oh, that was a rhetorical question. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, have you been a pro? Well, I mean, are we allowed to say how these scuba jets have been being used in Hollywood? Honest, can I say that publicly, or is that kind of privileged information? Just nod your head, yes or no. If I can't, that's fine.
Can talk a little bit about it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what we will say, because we can't get too specific, and actually I don't really know all the specifics, but we know that these are being used in a major motion picture right now that's being filmed. We can say that much.
So it's not Sharknado.
Sharknado 12?
And the director looks surprisingly like me. He got his looks from
Colonel
me.
Sanders.
I hate the Colonel.
It really wasn't
wee
that funny.
beady eyes.
Wasn't that funny at all.
It's entirely different. It's entirely different.
Oh, you're gonna buy my chicken?
Yeah. Well, the director.
Well, that's not Colonel Sanders.
Okay, quiet. The guy who did The Abyss, which was the movie that inspired me to learn how to scuba dive in the first place.
Here we go.
Him and his team evidently are using the scuba jets.
George Lucas.
On some of his new
so much for not giving it away, right?
Yeah, I didn't give it away.
Okay.
What are you saying, Barry?
What? Okay, Colonel, back to work.
It's not
His mic off.
It's not who?
It's not Star Whores.
Oh man! How dare you?
Just a guess.
Hannes, did I apologize for this crew earlier before you came on?
Actually, I think a couple of times already.
Okay, good. All right,
he does tend to repeat himself.
Yeah. Just making sure.
I love all these guys on the show.
Yeah,
you guys are great.
No, they're not. They're terrible. They're awful people.
How dare you?
You can always have Kyle.
Well, Kyle's not here today, so what are you saying?
So we can't always have him.
Kyle.
Okay.
Like right now would be a time. And
what to talk about?
I said we could always have him. Not now.
Yeah, we can't. That's right. Come on, Jerry. Catch up.
What? Look, I'm trying. But Kyle's watching. He's
okay. All right.
That helps us, Hal.
Radio, Facebook.
Yeah. Why isn't he on today?
I don't know.
Because he's probably listening. Doesn't want to be associated with this nonsense.
Yeah, can you blame him?
Yeah. No, I cannot. But that's okay. All right. So I don't know if we gave you a scuba jet, Jerry. Where would you take it? Where would you put it?
Well, I can't say that on air.
What?
But
what?
He's laughing right now.
No, we're all about to get our second shot, so we're going to be free to travel here. I figure after the 1st of May.
I'd say, Greg, that me, you, Hannes, and CJ, and whoever else, we hit the liveaboards.
Yeah, I think doing some wall flying off the coast of Saba.
But we got to get HANA certified though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
damn it! If we only knew an instructor.
Yeah. Well,
you know, we had a pool that he could practice in.
Yeah.
Well,
obstacles. What's going on here?
Mountain divers, we do certify people.
Yeah, that's you know what? I was thinking the exact same thing. Brittany would be a perfect instructor for.
She would be good.
Brittany.
The Aqua Gypsy.
Gee,
Yeah.
thanks, Greg.
Under the best.
Do you know where I want to take the scooter next?
Where do you want to take? Yeah. Where do you want to take?
I want to take that scuba jet deep into Lake Titicaca.
Oh, there would be a site to mark off the list, and you can cover a lot of ground.
Hi-yo!
Okay, but yeah, that would be a fun place to go. But I think wall flying off the coast of Saba would be the thing.
Oh yeah, go hit the pinnacle.
Well, you got currents, so you got to fight too. That would solve that problem, and you could just zip around the pinnacles there in Saba, and just have the time of your life. See, we got all these things of sights to do, dives to do, and so little time. More coming up.
Scuba Radio.
Would you like to talk diving? Greg the Dive Master's all toweled down and ready to take your call now. Call Scuba Radio at 1-888-88-SCUBA.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer. And Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Peregrine is a simple, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It's also the most economical Shearwater dive computer released to date. Check it out and the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater. Dive computers for demanding divers.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving, flying, and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving, flying, and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why I wanted to tell you about Nanook Professional Protective Cases. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook cases generally cost less than similar products currently on the market. From an iPhone to a full set of dive gear, whatever you need to shield from the elements, Nanook Professional Protective Cases has the size, shape, and color for you. Go to nanook.com. That's NANUK.com for Nanook Professional Protective Cases. The evolution of protection.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
Later, nerd.
Are you lacking with the ladies?
Nope.
Enhance your scuba superpowers with a new Scuba Radio hat.
Wow, nice hat.
Just picked it up at ScubaRadio.com.
Buy 2 Scuba Radio hats and get free shipping.
Need a dive buddy, sexy?
Always. And I got a Scuba Radio hat for you, too.
New Scuba Radio hats are now available at ScubaRadio.com.
So cool.
Order yours today, or stay a loser.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
A professional mermaid says unwanted advances from merverts is the worst part of the job. Just like that, you've been made aware of a new profession and its very serious problems, and the word mervert.
Hey now.
Get my flippers on and go scuba diving.
Hey now.
Watch me get my goggles on and go scuba diving.
Hey now.
Scuba diving.
Hey now.
Watch me scuba diving.
Hey now.
East Coast. Watch me scuba diving.
Hey now.
West Coast.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. You know what? We haven't done this in a while. Let's go to the phones. Someone's dialed up 888-88-SCUBA. Hi, you're on the air. Who's this? Hello? Hello?
Hey, Greg. This is Bob.
Hey, Bob. What's going on? What can we do for you today?
I had a scooter once. It was like a skateboard, with wheels, but it had like a handle, and we used to have fun. We used to have fun on that.
Okay, that has nothing to do with the scuba jet or anything like what we're talking about.
Well, it was called a scooter, so.
Okay, I guess this is why we don't usually take calls, but yeah. What?
Before I go, I just like to say I found the Easter eel very offensive.
Okay. Well, last week, yeah, we just lost him. He hung up on me. Okay. Well, there you go. The Easter eel, the legend of the Easter eel. You know, last Sunday was Easter, so.
Greg, don't you screen calls? Come on.
That's why we don't take calls, I think.
Come on,
you know?
Greg.
I was surprised you took that call.
Yeah, I am too. What was I thinking? Obviously I wasn't.
You're going to have to do better.
Think, Greg, think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I thought
when we need her.
The Easter eel last week, I mean, that's how we finished off the show. I think it's an annual thing that you should address accordingly on a show like ours, right? I mean, it only makes sense. CJ,
you can't win them all. You know, you're not going to make everybody happy. So
yeah. Well, he didn't say he didn't like it. He just said he thought it was inappropriate. Is that what he said?
He said it was offensive.
Offensive.
Oh, I guess that means he didn't like it then. But
I don't know why.
But maybe he likes offensive things. Well, yeah, exactly. What's offensive about the Easter eel? Did everybody get visited by the Easter eel last week, by the way? Because that was after the show. All right, Bubble Boy says yes. Jerry?
2 hours after I had that chicken
flying by on a scuba jet with me.
Okay. All right. And Barry, what?
No, I was sleeping off my COVID shot.
Oh, that's right. Barry wasn't here last week. We didn't know if he was going to be alive for the show this week.
Poor Barry.
Yeah,
Barry. He got a knock.
I really thought I was going to get away without getting sick, and I could laugh at Greg, but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, Barry got poked last Friday.
I'm sorry.
What
and
his
he
name,
missed
Barry?
the show on Saturday because he was not feeling well after his vaccine shot. So. But unfortunately, he made it, and he made it back today.
Thank you, unfortunately.
Oh, golly.
You're going to miss me.
But we're not going to kiss you.
No, thank you.
I took an awkward turn.
You did.
Should we just be quiet and let the Barry and Jerry show go?
Yeah, people behind the curtain of Jerry.
You guys are on.
You got 4 more minutes. Finish it up.
Go ahead, Barry. You're on.
No. You have 4 more minutes. You're the boss.
All right, Jerry.
We have guests, please.
Okay, that's true. Hannes, I apologized. I think we're okay, right? He's going, what the hell is going on with these people?
It's okay. We don't have Casey today to keep things in check.
Yeah. Do they have the Easter eel, by the way, Hannes, in Austria? Have you ever heard of the Easter eel? Yeah.
Never heard about that at all.
Yeah. Visit it.
I will check back on I will go back to the show last week and we'll listen to that.
No, don't do that. Whatever you do.
Make sure you have a paper bag to throw up in.
Yeah, don't ever do that.
Hannes, have you ever heard of an obscure art film called Salo?
Oh, God.
What?
Never mind.
Salo.
Never mind.
Okay. Evidently that amused Bubble Boy.
Yeah, something about that.
All right. This has nothing to do with diving.
Yes and no.
Really?
Okay.
Let's go back to the scuba jet, Greg.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Where we're going to take him next, I think it could potentially be Saba. But first, before we get to Saba, because we can't really get out of the country until at the earliest May.
I think you could shoot up a waterfall on one of those.
That is a lie. I don't think they're that powerful.
I think
however,
100%, you could shoot up a waterfall.
I think you'd give the Guinness Book of World Record holder who did the free dive with the monofin, I bet you'd give him a run for his money if you had one of those things.
Oh, yeah,
and
easy.
You hold on to it, and you could jump up out of the water.
Yeah, I don't believe that to begin with. So yeah,
that's not a free dive, is it?
Yes, it is.
How so? You have to pay for the scuba jet.
Oh, man.
Oh,
well, we actually,
not if you're a gypsy and you steal it.
Okay. Yeah, right. Exactly. No, the thing is, though, you may not be able to get 7 feet out of the water like that free diver, but you could definitely, jump up out of the water like a dolphin.
Definitely pull 7 inches.
You might be able to do more than that. You might be able to do. Barry's easily amused today.
I know.
You know
I am very.
Barry liked that 7-inch.
I had.
I'm wondering.
I think his hat's a little too tight.
I think he is suffering from some side effects from his vaccine.
That's right. I'm not looking forward. 2 more weeks. I have another.
Yeah, you should have seen him earlier, Greg. He was bobbing left to right like Stevie Wonder.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, look at him.
So are you having some issues, Barry? Or
no.
Okay, you're
He's
100%.
having a conniption fit or something.
A conniption fit.
Okay.
I always like with that country twang.
I just called to say.
Go ahead, say it. Tell him you love him. Tell him you love him.
Come on, Jerry. Come on, Jerry.
He was going there.
Red, Jerry.
I thought for sure
I stopped it.
we were going to have a love connection here at the end of Scuba Radio. First time ever. All right. Well, anyway, we've been saved by the music, and we'll leave it at that. Till next time, remember, it's always better. Where, gang?
Down. Wear sweater.
Save time with everyone.
Photo down below if you want to stay in the know. If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go!
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio.
This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.